Okay, welcome to Low Kick Online. We're getting the match started right away due to some really quick issues. But right now we have Phantom Biken versus Ragnell. Looking to be a pretty sick match. I'm joined by Necromaster, and my name is Brain. How are you doing today, Necro?
I'm doing awesome. I'm ready to watch. What we got a Soul starting off. Fantastic. I'm excited.
I'm
Honestly,
excited too.
I'm more pumped about the Anji here because like the mix-up game is insane now.
I haven't seen too much of Anji after this last patch, but it's really exciting to see. I mean, as you can see here, the Soul been doing big damage, but Anji is already making it big. Like he's making a huge comeback already, and the damage is just as I say that he gets the KO with the grab. So a great start for a Phantom Biken. And starting off neutral with the run-up throw from Soul.
Ooh, hit him with this. So not as much damage as before.
Not at all. But Anji, as we see, he's doing those whiff cancels with that great mix-up game, does read the jump. Let's see what the corner pressure says. Oh, but he counters with close line. Very nice. Very nice reaction.
Just DP. So that'll be. I think that's the biggest thing that Anji just doesn't lose to a DP anymore during Fujin. As you see, like you actually have to respect it on defense. You can't just like throw out DP over and over and basically get out of everything.
Solid neutral from both sides. Neither one is giving too much of an edge, though Ragnell does have a bit of a life lead. We know Anji has the big damage, so he's gonna make it some back. Oh, and a great corner combo, ending it with the super.
We call him Gorilla in a 2-2 for a reason.
Yeah, of course.
Get him
Ooh,
in the
does whip
corner,
grab.
doing the same stuff, but really good combo there. But I've really noticed the nerf damage on Soul. Like,
It's still big, but it's not nearly as big as it was. And there's the counter to finish off the first game.
I feel like most combos would have been like almost dead from that combo instead of, not everything's like super punishing anymore. So like you can actually live for a moment, actually breathe. It's kind of nice.
It's not as down your neck as it used to be with Soul. But the same can't really be said for Anji though, because Anji is just all over you.
Right. I mean, this matchup is a little interesting because Anji actually, I noticed that he just didn't even use like half his moveset. It's probably not that good anyway, like Butterfly and stuff, but used the spin a couple times, but then just stopped using it altogether at some point.
It seemed like Ragnell wasn't, well, just as you say that, he goes for the spin, but it doesn't seem like Ragnell is paying too much mind to the spin.
Ooh, good counter hit, but
I like
doesn't
the
lead
burst
into
there.
anything. Yeah.
I like the burst there to keep the corner. I like the burst there to get out of the corner.
Ooh, good counter hit here.
Big counter hit damage into the super. Does this? Oh my god! I was about to say, does this wall break from here? And it almost did.
It looked like it almost dropped for some reason to me.
And whiff cancels into the low.
That low is actually super strong now that they've kind of sped up how fast you can actually do it. You can almost do it like a neutral tool, like similar to like Nago's Beyblade or something, where you can almost do it from like half screen neutral.
Yeah, it's a good approach tool if you look at it. Like I don't know how fast it is, but it is pretty fast, and it's good to get that really quick low from such a big distance. Ooh.
Yeah, not gonna catch him sleeping on that one.
Not at all. The Anji special, the wake up counter, wins the game for Phantom Biken. Great showing from both players, but Phantom Biken, he just had the big brain. He had the big buttons, the big damage.
Yeah, I would say if you haven't fought Anji yet, start practicing now because they basically put him in the game. Like
exactly. I can't believe
was,
Anji is in the game. That's crazy.
well, one of my good friends actually plays Anji a lot, and before it didn't feel like I was playing against like a normal character. Guilty Gear was more like almost like a neutered version. Now he's hit me with all these mix-ups of like, I'm not used to any of this anymore, so he was just beating my butt for like a good like 5 sets like in a row. Cause he went, labbed it, did all the new stuff, and I was like, all right, I'm not ready for this. Let's hold back real quick.
Mm-hmm. I'm really glad that they're doing these big fixes to these lower tier characters, but at the same time, Anji is definitely not as strong as some of these other like top tiers, which I'm actually really okay with personally. Because I feel like having a strong, like, low tier makes all of these really awesome characters way more hype.
Definitely. As long as there's, like, a standing chance. And I said for myself, like, ever since the patch, I've been playing a ton more. I was just waiting for Soul to get touched up or something, because every local I go to, it's sub Soul player, and it's just like, all right, let's wait a week or two, take some time off for a little bit, and it's kind of nice to come back and Soul, you know, a little touch down, but that gives more room for other characters to kind of show what they can do. So we're going to be fixing the audio for everybody. I was mainly, all I mainly could hear was the, just like background music for some reason.
But it's been really fun to see these like not as high tier characters be performing as well as they have been recently. Like we're seeing a whole bunch, and you know, no bias at all, but we're seeing these really awesome Kai players come in, especially with the new with the new character Jacko. It's really nice to see her coming in and showing up, because we've seen some cool stuff already with her. I've seen a few more Gold Lewis players than usual, which has been nice. I don't know if his buff was super significant, but it's definitely given him, you know, it's made him a character now. And then, you know, with Anji, as we were talking about, like, you know, my point being, like, it's just nice to see these lower spectrum characters become a bit more viable without making them completely over the top.
Oh, definitely. I like you were saying, I don't think Anji's like over the top. It's just nice to actually be scared when the mix-up pressure is coming.
Is it makes you feel like you actually have to learn what the character can do rather than just reacting to what he is doing, which is what I feel like a lot of people were doing in, you know, before the patch.
Like, I mean, like I was saying, you could kind of just mash DP like an animal, and it would work 80% of the time, because there was such large gaps, even on hit. Unless you got a good clean counter hit, the mix-up wasn't real, you know? Like, the overhead was... I think I got buffed, like 6 frames or so. It was a lot. Like, the overhead got cut to a speed that's, like, very, very significant. It's not as slow as it used to be.
Mm-hmm. And now we're getting into our next match of the session: Gearlock versus Romantic. Potemkin versus Giovanna. Now, how do you feel about this matchup, Necro? Because personally, I don't really know this matchup very well, if I'm being quite honest.
I would think the hardest thing that Potemkin needs to do is catch somebody running away, and Gio is totally built to get in your face, which I think...
And then run away.
I think this could be a solid 50-50. I mean, it's the moment he's in the corner, you know, Potemkin's gonna have a hard time, but... I think Potemkin actually gets a good range advantage here. Like, it's definitely not one of the matchups he's worried about, let's put it that way. Ooh, nice counter hit. From above.
machine gun glove. I don't know what that move's called, but I'm gonna call it machine gun glove. But big damage to start off with. Though Geo does take the corner back.
Okay. Back Mega Fist is the truth. I just hope you know this. Oh! Oh! Okay. You know, for a moment, I thought Potemkin did Mega Buster, and I was so hype, but that is equally as hype because this Geo is cooking right now.
Oh my god, she's cooking up. She's cooking a big man for dinner, and it smells hot.
Just waiting for the stove to heat up, so Romantic getting in there. I like the backdashes to get out of the ground stun too.
No, Gearlock is not giving up. He is using all of his big buttons to make sure that Geo cannot oppress him as much as she has been.
Kind of using Mega Fist to actually get in because Geo's not exactly a disjointed hitbox kind of character, so
oh no, not at all.
I don't know how she actually challenges Mega Fist very well. Besides just calling it out.
For a quick read with an aerial that might do it. It was a good finish from Gearlock. Evens out the game.
Yeah. Well, kind of basically just Potemkin's round there.
I do like this quick pressure though. Running up and just pressing buttons in his face is certainly something he's not going to have a whole lot of fun dealing with. Though you did say that back Mega Fist is the truth.
Oh, there. Yeah.
Like I just say, there it is.
You had us so much. Oh, okay. Through the wall. This should at least get really close. Good Oki situation.
Very close.
Okay, yellow RC. Oh, nice backdash to get out of the Buster.
Excellent reactions from Romantic.
I definitely like it. Each round was very much like...
It was very dominant in either player's favor.
Yeah.
Neither one felt even, but it overall felt like an even game because of it, which I think is very interesting.
I think at the end of the day, a lot of this game is just going to end up being a game of oppression, like who is on the offense and who is on the defense, and who's able to capitalize off of like little mistakes. So,
of course.
Right now, Romantic's actually baiting out a lot of stuff, and that's where Romantic's actually getting their moment of opportunity. Are these little backdashes or calling out like a pot buster or, you know, just big call-outs.
Really great playing from Romantic. Great awareness on their side. Oh, unfortunately misses the wall break. You hate to see that, but does get it back.
Yeah, getting the extra meter here. Oh, gets knocked down on the ground.
I like that purple RC into the grab.
Garuda? Good burst. I think that's a good idea to get out of that pressure. There it is.
Ooh, big super. Oh, and that finishes it.
Yeah. You get kicked. You get kicked like a soccer ball.
And a very convincing 2-0 from Romantic style.
No, that was solid.
That was incredibly strong. I mean, like you said, it still felt like a 50-50. It felt like it could go in either player's favor. Because we saw that that Gearlock had a really good first round. Unfortunately, just kind of, you know, avalanched after that, snowballed after that, sorry. And it was very dominant whenever each player was in first, you know? And it's like you said, as long as one player is kind of in control, then that player is, you know, pretty close to winning. It's pretty difficult to make those big comebacks per round. Especially,
like, when you have that confidence against Potemkin in general. I think with any character in this game, if you play scared, that's when you're losing. Like, it's the grappler classic, where the moment you feel like you need to be scared or be on defense is when you're going to start losing pretty quickly. Because if you're reacting to Potemkin, that's never how the matchup I don't think should go, unless it's like a mirror match or maybe Nago or something. I don't know. There's not many characters that like are scared of his oppressive like offense, unless like you get scared of Garuda, and then you get scared of the throws, and then that's it. That's your curtains.
I mean, you get opened up once and it's gone. So you really have to either. It comes down to that game plan of like, do I respect it or do I just mash? You know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, can't get a word in edgewise if you're always pressing buttons. Your buttons are way faster. Geo's really quick.
Oh yeah. I think her jab is 3 frames, which is pretty crazy.
I could have sworn it was like 4, because it's only like Chip and Soul that have like a 3 frame.
That have 3 frame. Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it was 2 frame. Okay.
I believe. I may be wrong. Don't quote me on that one.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. But
she has one of the faster like approaching options.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That's the big thing. Like her what is it? Is that slash or like forward slash or something? I actually don't know the annotation for it.
Which move?
Where she like slides forward and does the 3 kicks to kind of lock you in the spot.
That's her 6 heavy slide.
Oh, the 6 heavy. Okay. Yeah. That moves so fast for a 6 heavy.
Oh yeah, definitely. Plus it goes so far. She has some crazy carry with that move.
Or 2D.
Combos off of like basically anything.
Right. I think it's nice because I like watching Geo and how dynamic the combos get to be, because I feel like every little tap or counter hit or it becomes a full juggle, like very easily with her.
She has a lot of freedom in her combo routes. It's like if you see it and it looks like it will work, it will probably work. You know?
Yeah. While I'm over here with Axel, like, oh, I didn't press this exact button. I totally dropped it. Or I wasn't already charging. Like, I come from 3D fighting games, so like the whole charging thing is just very foreign to me. So that has been the biggest hump I've had to get over with like the game for me personally. But I don't know, like it's very easy. I've never been able to do like charge stuff in 2D games, but for some reason in this game I could do it pretty easily.
I don't know, maybe it just clicked for you now.
Maybe that too. Maybe I just actually went from the Ryu's my favorite fighting game person to I don't really know. I that's stale bread for me. Like I don't
Hey,
shout out to Dom.
Don't insult us Shoto players, man.
Listen, if Dom was listening, he would shame me right now. I hope he doesn't come flying in here.
May not always be good, but come on, man.
And you just know what I mean. It's like they put Ryu in Fortnite for a reason, and then
shut up. Style in Fortnite as well, so you charge characters better not be talking.
Yeah, let's not talk about it, because I play Magic as well, and they're putting all that stuff in Magic as well, and I don't know how to feel about it. I'm a little salty. Let's just keep the Fortnite talk to a minimum.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, I can imagine that playing a charged character is a bit stressful in some cases, because it's like it feels like sometimes you have to be on the defensive in order to press some of your buttons, which I feel like can be kind of irritating. But at the same time, it's like when you're playing as Axel, your entire game plan is to play defensive, isn't it? It's like, you know, it's to kind of like just wait for your opponent to do something dumb and then to just hit them. You know?
You definitely have to get aggressive, though. I feel like the aggression helps you be defensive as well, because if your opponent always expects you to be defensive, they will do options that will try to bait you instead. Whereas if sometimes you just 6H and you hit them, and they're like, oh, he actually can advance at me. I'm like, yep, I got one button. Or
sometimes I will just press my good button.
The sickest stuff is when you jump over a low with it, and you're just like, got him.
Oh, is that what that is? Is that his 6H when he jumps back and he like swings at you?
Yeah, it's an overhead too.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, right? And it catches in the air. Like, it's the move that if you're thinking that they're gonna run in or not expect you to go in, that's the move. That's it. Like, that's all you got. There's no other way to like actually play Guilty Gear in this game with Axel. And I just mean like so many characters have these. Gear character. Yeah, he's playing a different game, honestly. I don't know what he's playing, but
I mean, it makes sense. Nago is playing Tekken while everyone else is playing Guilty Gear.
is that what it is to you? I don't know.
I mean, that's what Tekken looks like to me, man. It's just bouncing people up and down.
Nago reminds me of like a Sailor Moon character or something, where you just get to, you just get to break the game, like in half. That's where
I didn't even know there was a Sailor Moon fighting game.
Oh, it's awful. It's the most broken mess of a game ever, and that's why I say that. Because like Nago you have like the blood to bring you back, but there are moments where it's just like, why does he get to do all this? Like this combo's insane, and it will always be insane because that's the character. But yeah, check out like Evos and stuff for Sailor Moon. It's the most wild ride you'll ever watch in a fighting game. You're like, why is this so broken? Yeah, it just is.
Is it?
It was? I actually did not.
They definitely have gotten better at cutting animes and fighting games, I guess.
Oh, for sure. This is an old game. I actually don't even know what system it was on.
SNES. Oh, damn. Crazy video game for crazy people. Okay.
I think it's is that the one with is that the Salt? I thought that was the how like fighting games can be, like simplicity wise. I thought it was in that one.
Well, it's a really good Corey video. Well, I mean, all of the videos are pretty good.
Yeah. Well, that's my favorite one, is the concept of how much fighting game needs to be in there to call it a fighting game.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting to think about.
Yeah, whatever one is the effects of Salt, I think is the one. Where yeah, the effects of Salt. At the end of the video, we talked about Sailor Moon.
Okay. It sounds like a cool game. I'll definitely have to check it out.
Cool's not a good word for it. It's an experience. I wish I was kidding.
Oh, hey, as long as it's fun to watch, then...
It's fun to watch. I tried playing it, somebody had it once. When I was at like a tournament or something, and I was just like, why are we doing this? I quickly put it down, but it's fun to watch sometimes, if you need a good laugh.
Okay. Is it like, what is it? Is it like, oh god, what is it? The Fist of the North Star game. Is it like that levels of broken?
Oh, it's worse.
Bakugo no Ken is pretty broken, actually.
It's got hit stun, like what are those called? Like, where you just keep moving to the side and everything, like Streets of Rage or something. They have hit stun like that.
Okay. Well, speaking of charged characters, we now have a Leo coming up on the stream. Leo versus someone we've seen today already, Phantom Biken, the Anji player. Now this one seems... Now we know that both of these characters are kind of monkeys. It's like Anji is a monkey in fancy clothing, and Leo is just a gorilla. So I'm thinking they're just both gonna press buttons, and eventually, you know, it's gonna be a doozy.
Alright, we're gonna go in here. Halt a clash? I like it. Best projectile? A counter?
He's pressing it. He's not letting any button on his controller unpressed.
And by the way, I will call it the best projectile. I was watching PAX this weekend, and it went through Potemkin's like super that he does. Like the barrier. It does. And I'm like, that doesn't even make sense, bro. Like, he spent meter on that.
Yeah. My move that is supposed to negate all projectiles gets negated by an apparently better projectile.
Ooh. And then you just get the flash kick?
Oh yeah. He just flash kicks out of anything.
Yeah. Do it again.
There it is.
It's gonna be the bane of your existence here.
Does
Okay,
spin
good
into the
throw.
grab, though. Like, he's playing
Yeah.
Anji. Oh, and he gets flash kicked again.
Yeah, the thing with the Anji's projectile, it doesn't hit until you actually, or until it actually hits the ground too.
He's not going for the flash kick. I guess he thinks that Baiken is a bit more scared of it. Goes for the grab on wake up.
Okay. Hold him there. Managed to get out. Ooh, that was close.
Good adaptation from Phantom Baiken. Really like to see that. So we see Adrian's son? Adrian's son. We see Adrian's son kind of playing a bit safer than he was. As we saw in the first, he was playing very aggressively. Never mind, just as I say that.
Punish. Okay, RC to keep him, hold him there. Oh, surprised he didn't get the overhead, honestly. Because he insta-jumped.
Mid-Vallejo combo does burst out, I definitely agree with that. Oh, the counter hit.
No!
Caught him mashing buttons.
Oh, he teabagged! Oh, okay.
I think that might have been a misinput. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that was a misinput.
I guess that was flash kick.
Yeah, that must have been it. But either way, Adrian's son takes it out. Pretty even first game. You know, Phantom Baiken, he was showing off what he could do. He was showing off his adaptation. Curious to see how this next one will go. The best projectile in the game.
Ooh, gets beat by 2D though.
Bursts immediately after the counter hit.
What is this? I'm just gonna keep throwing this.
Hey, if it's working.
Here, I made you this. Fresh out the oven. Oh, jumps the throw.
Yeah. Good reactions on the cross.
Good blocks.
This does give Adrian's son the corner though. Bursts out of the corner. Ooh! Gets the counter hit. Or not the counter hit, sorry, the counter state. RC to finish the combo.
Anji's got 6 abs. Or sick abs, bro. Always be blocking.
Yeah, Anji can take those hits. You don't have to be scared.
He just flexes and just keeps eating these Leo hits.
Counter hit.
What? Oh, he did the umbrella.
Yeah. Oh, I like that blue RC into the grab.
I was just wondering what put him through the wall.
Oh yeah, it was the he got a counter hit overhead and he converted into the umbrella.
Umbrella just comes out so fast it almost looks like he doesn't hit him initially. Okay. We'll get put in the corner though.
Oh, and he likes that flash kick though.
Don't they all?
Yeah, really.
I've never seen a Leo player not do it at least 20 times. Ooh, the reversal!
He keeps going for that counter on wake up, and it's giving him huge mileage.
Especially going through the wall. Gonna get a lot of meter for all this. Ooh, DP, you're dead.
Very even games. You like to see that.
Definitely hard to get out of the corner versus Anji at the end of the day.
Of course, unless you have that that real nice flash kick. But he is doing a great job of they're both doing a great job of reacting and not reacting, sorry, adapting to each other's game plan. Goes for the immediate burst on block. I guess he just doesn't want to take the pressure.
Oh.
Gets opened up pretty quickly.
Didn't expect the throw, still went for strike again.
Goes straight into flash kick. Gets counter hit on wake up.
Through?
He's falling for it.
There it is. Good Oki options. What?
What? I don't know what I just saw there, but I guess that was a grab on wake up. No, double mashes the counter state. But gets whip punch. Great job from Phantom Baiken.
Whirl on him. Gotta deal with back turn. Break on the throw.
I didn't even know you could break that. I thought it was a command throw, so I thought you had.
I think you did regular throw there. Ooh. Oh. Okay, gotta hold the pressure. Yeah, big counter hit. It should put him through the wall and should kill here.
Very convincing game 2 from Phantom Biken. But oh, sorry, yeah, that was game 3. My apologies. I meant like the second game that he won.
Why are they still playing?
Good. Phantom Biken won too, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Oh, maybe they think it's first of 3.
Does he not realize he stopped playing? He literally stopped playing. He's like, no, I have to win.
Maybe they're just getting out because he accidentally hit retry.
Yeah. Well, Phantom Biken was just, I know, he literally did not understand.
Yeah.
He's like, wait, you're not playing?
Yeah, he was just mashing.
Yo. The gall of this man to be just not even paying attention at all.
Oh, I guess that's partially on me. I thought that was game 2. That's my beat.
It's not like he hears you. He was lost to the sauce.
That's fair.
He was like, I want that. I want that loss.
I need
Stick
my
with me.
That's what you see from those Leo players. They're just gorillas. They're pressing every button on their controller.
They're just used to rank, just pressing rematch.
Exactly.
That's why they make you stop.
Mm-hmm. It's like you have to stop them, because they're just gonna keep mashing. But great showing from both players, honestly. I felt like Phantom Biken was adapting incredibly well to the ways that Adrian was responding to his pressure, like with the flash kick and with the full screen projectiles. He was doing a great job of adapting to those and reacting and punishing them accordingly. We did see some great gameplay from Adrian though. He was, putting in great pressure, great combos, big damage. All the things you love to see from a Leo, and I thought that was a really great set from both players.
I enjoyed the fact that Anji was pure domination. I loved it. Like the last match was pretty much
the last match
pretty much in his favor. And again, we're just seeing the the legend for face buttons. I love this person at the free event. They played a lot during the free event.
And we also did see this Geo player. I forgot the name. My apologies. But we did see this Geo player. They're pretty romantic playing Geo. I'm sorry, I'm just talking, my man.
I mean, she's pretty romantic. I see it.
Yeah, I guess so.
If you're into the wolves.
Here's the dolphin. Dolphin corner pressure loops. Just does not want to let go of that button. Wake up, Super.
Are we just playing the 2 Beast Tamer matchup? Is that what this is? Lady of the Sea. Mm-hmm. Lady of the Forest.
Yeah, both of these characters have their great animal friends. Both these characters have surprisingly good air game as well. Like when I first saw Mei, I wouldn't have thought she'd have a good air game, but hers is surprisingly good.
I saw air H one time. That's all I needed. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, her jump height is crazy, and her jump H is like huge.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of getting at.
Oh,
it's
okay,
like it's all the way around you too, so it's just like that. Like you could easily jump in with it, but again, it's harder for Geo to kind of challenge stuff like that. The giant anchor and a giant disjointed hitbox, it can be tough to challenge.
Oh, definitely.
Okay. Ooh. Decent counter hit. Yeah, just getting spaced out. What do you do here? Let's see it.
Yeah, what does she do about that? I mean, she's fast, but she doesn't really have the big enough buttons to get in.
I think we're trying to...
Seems like Fourface knows this.
Well, Romantic's definitely trying to find some way in. Oh, had to readjust.
Juggles.
Drops it.
Romantic not giving in though. When they find the chance, they are getting in. But buttons just aren't big enough. Oh, and there's the conversion. Tried to get the reset. Doesn't quite work, but does convert back into the corner. Doesn't want the mix. Playing too defensively, if you ask me. Playing a bit too defensively.
We're just trying to find a spot open to get in there. But yeah, I'll use some 2D. That's probably what you have to do, right? You gotta throw in the 6Hs, you need the 2Ds, like, that's your range. Like, you can't challenge her with the other buttons you have. Ooh, gets called out. Jesus.
Tries to get the cross up.
Ooh, still gets rocked. No, drops it!
Ooh.
That was definitely a wild match.
Oh yeah. This is definitely in May's favor.
Again, you gotta risk it for the biscuit with these 6Hs, at least, or you gotta find some way to get in.
I'd say it's definitely challenging those air approaches.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, there it is. Challenging the air approaches and the laggy ground options is definitely the best.
Ooh, nice
way
dust.
for her to do it. Ooh, I'm surprised at that black beat. That's kind of interesting. I'm sure that's not what he was going for, but still very cool.
Geo uses dust in her combos a little bit.
Does she really?
Yeah. So some really good combos I've seen, especially in the corner, because it's like better than her specials to put through the wall sometimes.
Oh. Interesting.
It's because the hitbox or the way she hits is really nice. It's just like straight up.
She just strides forward like a whole lot. He's getting this corner pressure. Oh yeah.
See.
Doing
Her dust is a little bit better than the specials.
I see. Grab mid-screen.
There it is. Challenging a little bit better here. Understanding the spacing. Good block on the burst. That's going to be really huge.
Very convincingly takes out that second game of the set.
Going in for the third time here. Ooh, just hold the dust. You're not ready for it. Burst early. Makes sense.
Don't want to take that big burst, big dust damage.
Do it again. The jump back heavy is doing good work for Fourface buttons, but stuck in the corner, can't be doing that stuff anymore.
Romantic is definitely doing a much better job dealing with May's pressure. Ooh. Oh, great cross up there. Goes for the reset on the pressure. Yeah, we see that Romantic is taking a much more confident approach to challenging these buttons.
That was an unfortunate draw. Probably could have converted off of that. Can you finish here? No.
Does keep her in the corner though.
Just keep swinging.
She's smashing.
Yeah, there's the 2D. There it is. Just be patient.
I mean, no wonder their name is Fourface buttons. They're pressing the Fourface buttons.
Oh, they're going ham. They're doing it. They paid $60 for this game.
Yeah. And probably 40. Depending on what kind of controller they had, like maybe 300. So they're gonna press all those buttons. They paid for all those buttons.
Ooh, good block on the burst once again. Put through the wall, tons of damage.
This is definitely looking a lot more in Romantic's favor. But May has that big juggle damage, drops it.
Hasn't been able to convert that a few times now. Okay, yellow RC. It's my turn. No, the dust again! This time, no burst to save you. Watch the optimal dust video. Did you watch that yet?
I haven't watched that, no.
Somebody, I forgot who made it, but they made it's just a compilation of all the best dust on like particular characters in general. So like some characters like have specific dust combos they can squeak out against certain characters, which I find interesting. That it's not like universal somehow. But yeah.
I think it's because, like, I don't know if this is still in Strive, but I know previous gears had, like, weight classes that, like, determined that you have to do, like, different combo routes on different characters. I don't know if that is still in this game. It could just be something to do with, hurt boxes of different characters, but, who knows. And, is this a rematch? This isn't a rematch, is it?
No, it's Romantic and Phantom Biking.
Phantom Biking.
We're already getting closer to the end of the bracket here, actually. Yeah, this is going to be our winner's final, so this is going to be your 3 out of 5 here.
Okay. First 3 out of 5, obviously.
Ooh, great Fujin pickup. Big damage. Half your life. Looking like Soul out here.
50% off the rip.
Anji, good guy.
Ooh.
Double throw.
Anji, good guy. The Romantic is not giving up.
Okay.
Definitely putting up a big fight.
RC, still your turn. Ooh, nice backdash. Called out the throw.
Ooh, he was mashing. Pulled out the mash.
That gonna be enough? Definitely.
Hold it, yeah. That was an incredible showing from Romantic.
Yeah. I know it's a pretty common thing for after the little skip he does to go for a throw, especially if you're on defense, but there's definitely like it's like a strike throw 50-50 for sure.
Oh yeah. But I mean that was a confident punish on Romantic
for sure.
For that throw.
It's like you're gonna do this.
Oh yeah.
Okay, blocks the overhead, still your turn, use an RC. Still your turn. Ooh! Again, calling out the big throws. Okay. Can't challenge right above her very well. Not against Anji anyway. Now it's your turn.
Match is out!
I think that was, I believe, a punish. I know it's harder to punish, but I think she just did. It's pretty fast buttons.
He does have fast buttons. Oh, misses the conversion.
Oh no. Call out?
Call out? Wake up.
Oh, no.
He blocks it!
I could have sworn that got the backdash.
Yeah, I thought it might have gotten the backdash too, but I mean, that was great from Phantom Biking.
I also thought it was gonna reach. Thought it was gonna reach just a little bit farther too, but going back in here, all Romantic's round. Got him in the corner. Big counter hit. This is gonna hurt.
Oh.
Oh.
He thought he had me.
Keep you there. I think it was just keep you in the corner.
Oh, I see. That makes sense. Yeah,
because they did nothing. It wasn't like the other player earlier where they ducked a couple times. This was just.
Oh, it's true.
I'll just wait.
Yeah, I'm strangely enough never thought of just doing that.
I think that's why like the wall's very dynamic. I think it's like what makes this game so cool. Is the way the wall works.
Does when you drop off of it, it doesn't put you in a knockdown state. You just like restand, don't you?
You like go in the air and then you can block and everything, but you go straight up though. You don't get a chance to get out really. So you have to land back down. So depending on your character, like Anji's got some good stuff like kind of right below him.
As we can see, that was dominating.
Yeah, that using the instant overhead tech actually. That's kind of like a newer thing that I'm seeing a lot of people do too. is if you jump RC cancel into like every character has like a certain move, you can instant overhead.
Interesting.
Like with every character except like 3. So we're seeing some nice tech. Trying to get in there. When is it your turn?
Against Geo, it's never your turn. Not this Geo, at least. Oh my goodness. Both of these characters have extremely dominating corner pressure. You don't have the right reactions for it. So they're both showing off exactly what their characters are capable of.
Was that a 2D trade with the low
I think
there?
it might have been.
Because they both hit very far away from each other.
Blocks the
dust. The dust. Yeah, with Anji not having a DP really hurts in like situations like this. Like corner pressure, you have to find your ways out.
Go
nice
straight
conversion.
into the stupa. Probably wants the I don't know. Did they want the wall break?
2D? No! No punish. But that was a gold burst actually.
Wanted that meter for
throw again.
a nice mix.
Get the meaty. Big meaty.
Taking that chip damage.
Use the Did they do something to fake out? I saw some kind of animation where he like started but then went into the that was weird.
I think he whiff canceled the low into the overhead. I don't know if you can even do that, but that's what it looked like. That was crazy.
I actually don't know what he did there. That looked like he was going into something else and then like changed it. I don't know.
I don't know.
Might just be my screen.
I mean, I know he has like whiff cancels, but I thought it was only off of Fusion. Yeah, see, he has the whiff cancel off of Fusion. So I don't know. It looked cool though. Could have been a Kara.
Definitely threw off a romantic.
Ooh, but romantic is not.
No burst. No burst. You don't want to burst that. You want to keep it for that. Okay. Oh, umbrella. Oh. Almost got the sick combos, doing the hard stuff. Nice 2D, should be able to convert off of here. Still no burst. Clutching on his pearls.
Viking not giving up though. Putting in those quick whiff cancels, goes for the grab, which we haven't seen work too much against Romantic.
Yeah, Romantic's getting out of it every time.
But that was a great reaction on the 236A, I think that is. Good punish there. And that time goes for the low instead of the grab. Maybe he was expecting the grab type.
Big damage. Big damage. Big damage. Got the full combo. That was huge.
Bringing Phantom Viking up to a huge lead this round. Woo. Romantic playing a bit defensively there. Ooh, but it pays off with the counter hit on the grab.
Yeah, these grabs are really killing Phantom here. Yellow RC, trip him. There's the burst. Uh-oh.
Ooh, and the super to finish it off.
That super's tricky. It catches a lot of people.
Plus, it's plus on block as well, which is pretty insane.
It also has that fun mechanic where because you landed on the ground, it has no end lag at all. None.
Like, absolutely none.
Yeah.
It's a pretty ridiculous move.
It really is. Like you gotta always be paying attention to it because it's a very strong option from Geo. She doesn't get a lot of kind of really busted things to do. Ooh, Clash?
She's with it though. That's an interesting way to respond. Big combo? Big mid-screen combo.
Oh, good jump to get away from the projectile. RC, still his turn. Oh no, you got a little antsy. Oh, get checked in the knees.
That's a good finish from Phantom.
Doing a good job here to kind of bring it back a little bit.
Oh yeah. Phantom is definitely
Counter
responding
again.
a bit better. Yeah.
Get you
Phantom's
bashing.
Mhm. Each of them have shown that they have the capability to respond to each other mashing. Like right there, responding to the grab for the counter hit. Big cross up. Ooh, big counter hit. Yeah, Phantom was definitely mashing some buttons in that corner.
Okay, situation. What does it look like? It's always jumping overhead. Ooh, the dust was so fast.
Mhm. Quick RC into the dust. That was crazy.
Oh,
Catches him with a 2D.
oh, almost blocked that.
I thought it wouldn't hit. Maybe it's just the lag of the stream, but I honestly didn't think that would hit. That was pretty great.
Look at him after the twirl. Hold you there. Deal with these plus frames. That didn't connect after the throw, but gonna take one more chip of damage here. Can Phantom bring it back? Oh my! That was so good. Oh, the throw actually connecting.
Reset.
It's not over yet.
The instant overhead. Oh my god! All of this tech that he's showing off. No!
Oh, that didn't kill.
Yeah.
No!
Great showing from Phantom.
Oh my goodness.
I was convinced he was gonna throw. I was convinced that Romantic was gonna take that, and that Phantom was gonna throw. But that was absolutely phenomenal.
Oh my
Just a great comeback story from Phantom.
I can't believe that ended that way.
No, truly, that was as close as it could be. Oh, it doesn't punish the block on the burst. And Romantic is out of the corner, ready back again to apply some pressure. Geo, the oppressive character, going for the quick Oki reset.
Okay, watch out for that low. RC cancel, big damage. Get put in the corner. Good punish. Good burst as well. Oh, wow.
Responds with a super of his own.
6H.
Oh, yeah. Oh my goodness, this is just back and forth, pressure and pressure and pressure.
Try to make a cross up there.
Big damage in the corner.
No.
Oh, drops it.
Didn't have an RC to continue the combo. Oh my god.
Oh, and the overhead.
It's so much faster.
Oh yeah. Plus with the whiff cancels, it's just insane.
You can actually catch people sleeping a bit more.
Alright, both players taking a bit defensive approach to the neutral. Going in impressively by Romantic. Counter hit, big damage.
Alright, what's the Oki look like? Run up throw.
Grabs on wake up. Nice staggers here. Into the grab, the tick throw.
Actually gets out of the throw. Good tech. Oh, overhead again. But again, nothing. There it is.
Big damage in the corner. Full combo. Into the
and super. Gonna be big damage. Gotta go into Oki situation here.
What is the Oki here?
Geo does have meter.
Into the grab. That was insane from Phantom. It was so back and forth, and both players were showing off so much what their characters can do. The pressure was immaculate from both sides, the reactions, everything. But Phantom just took it out so incredibly with his incredibly optimal combos and his great setups. Like Anji is threatening.
I told you.
His character is... Yeah, no, you were right. I don't know if I said anything negative about Anji, but you were so right. This character is crazy.
No, the new buffs they helped a lot.
Oh, definitely.
You can actually do so many more mix-up options, and again, that overhead, like before, was so reactable. Like any online connection didn't matter. Just it was so reactable that it was laughable almost. And now it's pretty quick to where if you're not looking for it, you'll definitely get clipped by it. And we saw Romantic get hit by that overhead pretty consistently.
And while at the beginning, Phantom was going for that throw a whole lot, he changed up his game plan to that overhead, and I think I would assume that was just conditioning for the throw. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna say it was conditioning, and every time after he went for that overhead, he got the counter hits on it, and it led him to such humongous damage, and it helped him bring out the set. Just absolutely phenomenal gameplay.
And it might be like a muscle memory thing, you know. If you get used to
Going for those grabs, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, well, that you have muscle memory to Anji how it was before. Like maybe the offense you're used to is totally different. So before, maybe there was a few situations, like you said, it was a counter hit on the overhead. Like in block string, overhead got counter hit. Maybe Romantic was going for some things that would actually interrupt Anji in those moments, like trying to do call-outs that just don't work anymore.
Because it's just too fast now.
You can sneak some stuff in there, but you can't do it. It has to be like in block string. Like it actually has to be in block string now. Like I don't know how it should be really. Like if you're blocking, I think it should be reactable and be able to do stuff. But other than that, I think you should be able to get the mix-up.
Either way, they both showed off exactly what they can do. It was great. It was such a fun set. Back and forth, energetic. It was great.
Speaking of greatness, hop on this Matcherino code. All you have to do is press a button. You sign in on your Twitch, which is literally how you're watching this right now. It's very simple. Yeah, long ago we used to put in codes. Back in my day, like basically just press the link, sign in. It's free to sign in to have an account or whatever you want to do. And you kind of need them if you ever want to enter one of these tournaments. If not, everybody watching this is in the tournament anyway. But if you're ever here and you beat these people, you get the money too. It's open to everyone.
More money means more players.
But there is like 40 more codes, so more than welcome to click the link and press that button.
For the pressing.
I mean, that's what we do all day.
Oh yeah, that's what we do. We play fighting games. We press every button on our controller. That's what we do.
And those buttons make people sad. Or happy. But usually sad.
Usually sad. Especially if they're good buttons, like May Jump Heavy Slash.
I thought that's not even the button I'm really worried about anymore.
Or anything that Axel can do, really. All of his buttons make me sad.
Why? They're very specific.
They're all so big. They're all so
I'm so glad they buffed Snail. That was like the one move I was like, I never want to use this.
Wait, which one is Snail?
The big circle one. It's the quarter circle back heavy.
Oh.
It's literally called Snail. So, but that's what got buffed. So now you can jab Snail.
Oh, okay.
Where before it was a lot harder. Like they fixed almost like the input buffering for it.
Oh.
Which is interesting because I feel like it's a lot smoother to do. But yeah, you could basically just do 5p into that now. So now on a jab, I can knock you to full screen.
I mean, that's pretty useful for Axel because he doesn't want you to be in his face, right?
I think the best part about it is using 5p as like an anti-air, and then you get to Snail and then push him away. Whereas you would usually use Renzen, and if you hit a weird range like mid-range, it wouldn't push him back. And that's all I want for my combos and interactions with Axel. I just want you over there, not near me. I don't want those hands. Put that over there. 6 feet, please.
Yeah, Axel just wants you to get away from him.
Yeah, I don't want to be in the corner. I don't want any of that mess. All right,
Mm-hmm.
keep your hands to yourself.
He's what is it? He has his own personal space. He's a big fan of personal space.
Oh, look at that rain. Thanks, Zero.
Oh my god. Thanks, Zero. That's crazy.
Zero brought a friend. Appreciate it.
Just enjoying some of this Guilty Gear action right now. Waiting for what is it next? Is it Losers Finals? Okay.
So it's losers semis.
Losers semis. Okay.
Yeah, we just got done with winners, so.
Mhm. So now we go into losers semis, losers finals, and then grands. How very exciting! Closing in on the final match. It's gonna. It sounds like it's gonna be a big lot of fun.
So we still have an Anji, Geo, and then next is May and Leo. So that's fun. You know, if I had PS4, I'd probably play some Axel for you guys. But I play on PC because why wouldn't I?
Yeah, that's fair. I main PC, but I have a PS4 version as well. Just, you know, because some of the people I know don't have a PC, so it's just easier for everyone. Like, I mean, except for me, because it means I have to spend more money, but it's whatever.
For me, almost every fighting game I've played, it's better on PC for some reason.
Oh, 100%.
Like
Because-
Tekken.
Especially for Guilty Gear, there's significantly less. Or I think they said that they fixed it. I wouldn't know. I haven't tried it since the patch, but they said that they fixed the input delay on PS4, and PS5, I guess. But on PC, it doesn't have that same problem. I think in general, the connection on PC and the input delay is a lot less pronounced on PC. I think. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know if that's true at all.
It's definitely
that's
different when I play
Oh, yeah.
offline. Like if I go play on PlayStation offline, like if I was just training at my house, it feels different for
Oh,
sure.
definitely.
Yeah. So there's always like that kind of thing, but yeah, I like playing Tekken and Soul Calibur as well. And
okay.
literally the online is better. Like by a mile. Like for both.
Does it
both
use
of the
rollback?
game. I guess Tech. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I don't. There's like a meme out there because like Harada said it's rollback or something, but it's
not.
But PC is much better, and dude, Soul Calibur is like night and day. Like consoles like near unplayable, and PC's like actually okay for what delay is anyway. Then you got this game. That's just awesome. So
This game is awesome.
I just hope more things get rolled back. Like, I'm telling you right now, no one's gonna see me for a month because I'm gonna be playing Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl because it actually has rollback. And I'm just gonna go on a game I could like beat up on kids for a little while. Like how everyone played Pokemon Unite for like 2 weeks, and it's like
Yeah.
you're just beating all the 8-year-olds, guys. Do you feel good?
Exactly.
Like, look at my score. I'm like, Timmy just like had to sob in his pillow and eat his grilled cheese sandwich like a good boy after you did that to him. Like,
Timmy's mum finally gave him the login to the eShop, and he said, "Oh my god, it's Pokemon! I get Pokemon!" And then he plays the game, and then he's like, "Mommy, I'm getting beat up by some old guys," and he's not having fun.
noob.
What's a noob?
I don't know, man. Like, I actually know some younger folks, and not in a weird way. I just they're this thing called family. they're this thing called family, right? So they're really cool, but they know like all the lingo. Like I feel like an old man because it's like, oh, haha, I know this stuff, and it's like this 5-year-old's like talking just like any nerd I know, and I'm like, all right, they're growing up way too fast.
Exactly. My cousins are about 10 years younger than me, and they are talking about like games that I played when I was like a super little kid. Like when I was in primary school, I was playing like Crash, and I was like telling them like, oh yeah, there's this game, it's like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, and they're like, oh yeah, I've heard of that, Spyro's and Skylanders, and I'm like, oh god. Oh
like,
no.
I'm waiting for the completely unironic moment of, yeah, Ryu, the Fortnite character.
Oh,
Everyone memes that, but there's gonna be a moment in history where 20 years from now, a like 21, 22-year-old will be like, yeah, the Fortnite character. Like,
god,
no!
that's gonna hurt me so much. I'm just surprised that like I said, I don't see my cousins very often because they live in England, which, you know, whatever. But I visited them recently, and I was like, you know, talking to them about video games and stuff, and they were like, I don't know if they actually ever did unironically say, oh yeah, Ryu from Fortnite, because, you know, their dad is like kind of cultured in video games and stuff. That's not the point. Point is like, they're little kids. They don't know what they're talking about, and they're like, oh yeah, all these games and stuff. And I'm like, dude, I played that when I was like 5. That's crazy. And then you see like all these things in Fortnite, and I'm like, oh god, why is this in this video game?
That's the power of the remakes, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's because everything's a remake, so now
originality is dead.
That's why I play fighting games, bro. Like, there's actually
some of the most original content comes from fighting games.
They are like so many accidents kind of happen, like happy accidents, like Bob Ross style. Like,
oh yeah,
oh, I missed here. Let's just make a tree out of it. Like, that's what fighting games are all the time for me. Because like, you could watch. So, what other game could you watch at a high level, especially, where there's so much character in the way people actually play a character? So, like, you can
like
actually tell.
And stuff.
Yeah, so like I can tell every time I'm watching a stream if it's Hotashi's Nago. Like pretty quickly, versus like Fames or something. Like I can tell the difference between the two.
Right.
Or, like,
exactly.
So. I don't think you could do that as much with like, especially team-based games or.
Oh yeah, you can't even really get that in speedruns unless you're like a prolific like, unless you're like a prolific like, what's the word? Pioneer of certain speedrun tech. Like you can't really differentiate yourself in speedrunning if you're not doing things optimally, and that's really different for fighting games, because the optimal way to play a fighting game is to play differently from other people.
Right, like there is an optimal thing, but that actually isn't the optimal. Like there is no. Yeah, there's optimal combos, sure, but there's not like an optimal way to play a character, right?
Exactly.
There may be someone doing it the best way, the most interesting, right? Yeah. But there's not. I feel like in other competitive games, there's an optimal way to play, and whoever makes the least amount of mistakes wins, which does sound like fighting games too. But
but it's kind of a different scene for fighting games.
Right, it's less dynamic, I think. Like there's a lot more variety. I think the struggle to get better is much more fun too.
Oh yeah.
Personally, like it's really lame to, like for a shooter, for instance, you do that little click test, and then you just keep getting better and better and better, and it's like, oh, my Twitch is like 0.10 seconds faster, and then in fighting games it's like oh, I finally hit that air conversion, or I finally learned how to do this combo. Like the sense of progression, I think, is more rewarding.
Exactly, and I recently watched kind of a video on this of how fighting games differentiate themselves in kind of their presentation, and the way that their presentation kind of leads to how you kind of feel rewarded in it. So for example, like in a shooter game, if you do X, you're gonna get like, you know, an achievement. Like, you know, if you do really well in a match, it'll say like, oh, you got you know, this was your KDR, or this was your DPS, or this was your frag, or whatever. But in fighting games, you don't get that immediate reward. You don't get that immediate like number next to your name, at least in most cases, from what I understand. Like this game, like the most that they have is it has like that little kind of achievement section to tell you how many times you've beaten X character, or it has the number next to your name to kind of show you how experienced you are. But at the same time, it's like you're not gonna get that same immediate reward of like, oh, you did this combo, congratulations, here's like 50 points to your rank. Like, it doesn't work like that, you know?
Definitely. I just think like getting better feels good. In fighting games, like I've taken more of like a casual approach with like Guilty Gear, because I'm usually just trash at 2D games. But I actually enjoy this one, and at like a fun level too, and not where if I'm not sweating, I'm not having a good time. That's usually me. So I can actually like take a back seat to this game, because it's more like I'm losing to knowledge checks, or I just didn't know X thing or this thing.
That's valid.
But nice. It's still fun. No, you're good.
Oh, okay. Losers finals. So I guess we can say that us talking was the losers semis.
we put them to sleep.
Oh yeah.
The opponent just heard us talking, fell asleep. We're just too boring out here.
Yeah. Now everyone needs to wake up, because it's time for losers finals, and it's romantic versus Four-Face. I believe they actually did play. So we're gonna see how this goes.
Yeah, they did a bit earlier, but Romantic was able to pull it out a little bit. Ooh, big counter hit.
Big counter hit, goes for the instant burst after the counter hit. This is some big damage from Mei. Straight for the... That's very interesting. I don't know if I agree with that.
Might have been a misinput even.
Could have been. But a good first round for Four-Face, showing off that Mei does have the big buttons. Let's see if Romantic can do as they've been doing this entire evening and put on that big pressure.
Yeah, unfortunately just getting mixed up from above here, because I don't think Geo has too many good options to hit like directly above her.
I think she has her DP anti-air motion, but ooh, wow. I don't know. Yeah, that was a crazy conversion. That carry was
so much damage.
Jesus.
So Geo's allowed to keep her damage? Oh, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be real fun. This character is gonna be so sick still.
Oh yeah. That's crazy. That was such a huge comeback. It was just great option after the other.
That was off one straight counter hit too in the beginning. Ooh, good block on the dust.
Four-Face likes going for that. I think that's 2K or J2K, and then going for a charged dust. So,
yeah, because it reaches. Like even if you back dash, it hits you.
It's crazy.
Okay, good 6H to call it out.
Cross up.
On top of
the reset.
Ooh, catch him with the low. Big knee. Should be enough damage.
That is enough. And that's it's a first game for Romantic.
Just give him the disco kicks to finish it off. I love this character, dude. Like,
Yeah, Gio is awesome.
I like how she moves, and she's very interesting.
She feels very different from other Guilty Gear characters. Like, just the way that she kind of wants to play the game, I feel like is kind of different. Because, I mean, if you look at characters in previous games, like Jam is a whole lot about, like, setting herself up and then going for her big damage. But Gio just has the speed, and it feels so much different, you know?
Or you could do baits like that. That was sick.
That was sick.
Just the forward dash and the back dash, like, because of the speed she gets to move, you get to bait so much with your speed.
And she closes in really quickly as well, which means that she has some of the craziest pressure setups in the game when you're in the corner. And if she's got the right reactions, like, there's almost no way you can get out. Unless if you're May and you just press your big button.
Ooh, got under the 6H that time. Interesting. But she has Gio has one of the fastest forward dashes in the game. I believe
it is the fastest.
Yeah, in the air and on the ground. So like her forward momentum is just really crazy, and her corner pressure is really sick too. That was a really good block on the burst.
That was great. That was a great block burst. First block. Words. I saw what he was going for with that PRC. It was a good try. Avalanche into the cross-up mix. Keeps going for it, grabs him out of it, mashing that grab. Doesn't want to get schmicks, doesn't want to get combos. Nice anti-air conversion.
I'm glad they changed that throw for May. You don't really get a lot off of it anymore.
She definitely got way too much off of it. It was just too good. Seeing once again Four-Face get put in the blender by Gio.
The thing is,
a little too aggressive.
As soon as Romantic starts getting clipped down the run-ins, like Four-Face buttons is not really challenging on the dash in at all.
Oh no.
They're just trying to jump away or jump like kind of in a little bit more. And Romantic is just waiting for him to land.
They're definitely trying to take advantage of, you know, her big aerials. I mean, like we see, she's just trying to get out. And she almost did, but unfortunately Gio has just got big buttons. Or unfortunately for Four-Face.
Yeah, you can't just dolphin into backdash, like 6H is just gonna hit you.
Not at all. And dash bar slash is gonna hit you as well, which is the rapid kicks for anyone who doesn't know that. Because I know that, which is awesome. I didn't know that for a while actually, that was just like a thing you could do. It's just dash in with bar slash, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. 2D being the champion that it is.
Oh, and the super catches the cross up. That's crazy. Yeah, Gio's 2D is so weird.
It literally hits you with dust. like the little puff of air that the dog hits on the floor is a giant hitbox.
We love seeing Daisuke not take himself too serious.
You finish here. Oh no, gets grabbed. Get him 4 face buttons to get out of that corner pressure and actually take the round still. Gio's turn. Good jump. Good burst back. Yeah, look at that. That was like... You see where the air puffs out?
Oh yeah.
Then it's like even further out as the actual hitbox.
Good Four-Face not giving up. Huge charge dust.
Oh no! Still able to convert! Wow. Misses like the
first read.
Missed like the whole first move into that and was still able to convert. What a champion.
Absolute Chad move.
Flash? Interesting.
Goes for the overhead kiss. Goes for the regular. Oh wait, no, that's overhead kiss. Sorry. Is it?
That's gonna be a huge punish on the burst though. Not a good spot to do it. Ooh.
Ooh, and the backdash, or the jump backdash heavy slash. Perfect from Foreface. Let's see if Romantic can bring this one back.
Ooh, able to convert off that. Amazing. Hit him. Do it again.
Just keep pressing it. It'll work eventually. Oh, and the charged dust. Romantic has their own charged dust combo. Big damage.
Optimals. Yeah, if you get hit by that full dust, you should like die to that.
Oh, definitely.
Ooh, what is this? What is this pressure? Oh no.
Oh, and the polishing into the charged dust. Great showing from Foreface.
And
that
just
pressure
like
was
that,
really crazy.
just like that, up to 2 wins.
2-2, yeah. Foreface showing this humongous comeback. Oh, good take throw. Nice to go for the cross up.
I think we're gonna see a very different match here. Romantic's just kind of running into these buttons now.
Oh yeah, Foreface is definitely playing a little bit more campy.
Oh my god. Good damage on that combo. What's the Oki look like? Of course it's Dolphin.
Of course. Challenges though. Good challenge and great carry. That's insane.
Doing the hard stuff. Need to get back into this match.
What's the Oki? Oh, great read on the yellow RC.
Are you dead?
First read.
You need to kill here. Oh no, but it flipped around. Oh.
2 heavy slash into Dolphin.
Romantic being a lot more patient, but still getting caught on these jump H's. 2 dust. Able to block. RC cancel. Yikes.
Gets a counter hit on the air Dolphin.
Good blocks all around.
See?
Ooh, actually catching her in the air this time.
Yeah. This is looking good for Romantic.
Ooh,
just as I say that.
That wasn't good enough. Burst.
Getting a little too greedy with those air challenges.
Yellow RC,
Yellow RC.
Your turn. Do something. Jump H. You gotta be careful with this anchor.
Nice.
Ooh.
Great challenge from Romantic. And this brings it down to the final round of the set.
Oh, just keep doing it.
Just keep doing it. It just keeps working. If Romantic's gonna challenge in the air, you might as well go for the anti-air. Does go for the good 6p though to get that air challenge.
Foreface Button's taking the return to monkey approach. just press them.
Oh yeah. Foreface dashing in and dashing back.
Oh,
Just
dude, he actually hit.
just matching those jump H's.
No one believed in it. Not even Romantic. Oh no, no conversion.
Conversion. He's stressed out. You know it.
Ooh. Got Foreface Buttons in the corner here.
This is good pressure.
Nice
dodge.
No burst. No burst. Don't mess this up. Bam.
Fantastic from Romantic. And that brings out the set. That's great showing from both players.
That was so close. Romantic was starting to sweat. Foreface Buttons was definitely making the comeback, but I saw the turnaround, especially after the first round. Like that was starting to get real clean right there. So good on Romantic to earn their way back to this grand final situation here.
Oh, definitely. And speaking of, that does bring us to grand finals, which is going to be between Phantom Baiken and Romantic. 2 great players that we've seen bring their A game to this online tournament.
But before we are done, click on this code for Matcherino. again. Just I actually am not. No. Okay. Throw me for a loop. It's alright. But hit Matcherito, donate to these people. See a good match. Give them some hot dog money.
Yeah. Let them eat.
Give them some of that sweet, sweet ramen money.
Oh yeah. Let the intros rock for the finals? Never mind. Going straight into it. Now we've seen this matchup already today. But let's see how much these players have grown.
Oh, nice 2D. Now, Romantic was actually doing really well against Phantom before, and then Phantom was able to, like, kind of solidly adapt and bring it back.
Oh, that was an insane tag. Great conversion into the super! But yeah, like you were saying, Romantic was doing really well against Phantom originally, but Phantom just brought it. Just brought it back home. Romantic is showing where the money is at.
Just 2D. Ooh, good throw out of the spin there. Just hold and block. So twirl doesn't beat 2D? That's unfortunate.
Really?
I didn't know
Goes
that.
for the grab again.
Oh, there's the DP.
Pushes with the super.
Yeah. There's a big gap there. That's what I was saying. It's still kind of there, but it's a harder call out now.
Pulls out the throw. That was crazy.
Yeah, for how much Romantic actually likes to backdash, throw doesn't seem to be a good option against them a lot of the time. They don't like sitting still that very much.
Romantic is definitely moving around quite a bit, whether it be on the air or in the ground.
Okay. Waiting to punish the overheads here, because
Nice
Gio can actually do some good damage after the overhead. Ooh.
Going for some quick mixes.
In the driver's seat. Oh no. Gets clipped by the low this time. That's gonna be it here.
Romantic may be taking it a little easy because they took the first round. Nice tech on the throw. Nice tick throw. Oh, another one.
Okay, your turn.
In the blender.
Oh my god. Strike throw. Only throw.
Oh my goodness. Phantom just in the blender during that sequence. Great from Romantic.
And now with all the meter in the world. Yeah, just solid punish.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Gio
taking the round back.
Gio actually getting a close slash with that is actually pretty solid for her. She actually gets a good punish off of a blocked overhead. Oh, but doesn't block it that time.
Overhead. This is gonna be big damage unless he drops it. But he does bring it back. Gets a bit more damage than he deserved, but great from Phantom. Tries to go for the grab, which we've seen doesn't work, but just keeps his burst just for that very special moment. Oh, and just barely finishes it out. That was great from Phantom.
So I don't think he's dropping his combo, it's just he doesn't have RC to keep going.
Oh, really? It definitely looks like it's something he can keep going.
After, I think if you overhead again in the same combo, it's over. Unless you have RC. Unless it's like a range dependent thing, because there's times you bounce him off the wall, but...
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, when you don't see that, I don't think he's dropping, he just doesn't have meter to keep going. Okay.
Both players playing it very safe.
Punish. Oh, doesn't convert all the way on the combo though.
Goes for the reset, has the meter to reset, grabs her out of it.
Ooh, Fujin doesn't connect. No! Oh, but you get to land and do whatever you want!
She's carried!
Only
by the super.
Top one.
Goes to the whiff low.
Ooh, I like the adaptation to like dash backwards and almost connect with something. Ooh, that low actually able to challenge 2D. What a god.
The god move. Goes in for the super big damage. What's the Oki?
We're gonna see it here. Just jump in.
Ooh.
Big counter hit, but burst
Challenges
straight
the
out.
grab.
Need to do it. Okay, time to romantic to make something work here. Big counter hit, but nothing after that.
Grabs him out of it. This is looking real good for Phantom right now. Oh, it runs up and grabs. He's really not respecting Romantic at all.
Ooh. Yeah, these grabs are getting kind of predictable at this point. Romantic's kind of broken a few of them. But now just trying to backdash out of everything, getting caught on the backdash this time. Alright, here comes the mix-ups. Phantom's ready.
Yellow RC doesn't want to take the schmicks.
Ooh, still
Grabs out
gets
of the
thrown?
Spin.
Still gets thrown? That's not fair. He twirled on a move. He doesn't should get thrown for it. That's unfair. Romantic definitely knows the tech. Oh, wow. Still gets hit out of the RC, but does not enough to convert here. Nope. Oh, actually had to hold the chocobos there. Still can't.
Oh, so close.
I'm surprised it didn't connect after the whiff DP from Anji.
But Phantom bringing out that second game for him, his second win of Grand Finals.
Yeah, Romantic's got to do something a little drastic here to start throwing Phantom off of the defense a little bit.
Romantic is pressing buttons. He's just going ham. Putting Anji in the blender.
Ooh, I like the jump forward dash back. Again, put him through the wall. This is gonna hurt a lot. Let's see what the Oki is. Phantom's got a stick a meter to deal with. Nice.
Very nice. Oh, that's a big move.
Romantic showing signs of life here. Oh, gets thrown back into the corner though.
Yeah, Phantom does not want to take that corner pressure.
Oh no,
Grabs
we're not
again.
ready for the throw.
Works this time. And that's big damage.
Yeah, I think Phantom's catching on that. I've been noticing that Romantic won't backdash while they're in the corner to deal with a throw.
Good throw tech.
Nice, good counter hit.
Playing very safe.
Ooh, that was a great
safe
block on the
play.
burst.
Safe play pays off. Taking the round.
Going with the
means
conservative option. That was very smart.
Which means it's one more game for Romantic and one more game for Phantom. Or one more game for Romantic for the bracket reset?
Yes.
Or is it? Yeah, okay. One more game for Phantom for the bracket reset, or for Romantic, goodness gracious. And then Phantom will win if he takes the next one.
But first, we're gonna do this lobby thing again. Or let's go.
Booted from spectating. Yeah. Of course, it would happen on game 5, right? Like, why
course.
wouldn't it?
You can't make him run it back either. There's no way. Like,
Oh no! We just gotta hold this.
yeah. Well,
That's really a shame.
the game I come from, we call this Dot Caliber in Soul Calibur, where like the same thing happens.
It's also Radio Skullgirls.
Oh really?
Yeah, they call it Radio Skullgirl.
Why does this happen in so many fighting games? Please.
Happens in just everything.
Because if it's not like the first or second match, you can't just be like, hey guys, let's run it back. Like, no, they're on the final one. They're like in each other's heads. You can't slow them down now.
Can we do ads real quick then, I guess, while we wait?
Yeah.
Can you see
go
these?
for it.
Yes.
Should be able to see them.
So, we got LKO on Tuesdays, Wednesday versus on Wednesdays, FGC meetups on Fridays. I believe that's in person, right?
Yeah, that one is in person.
They're all in person except the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, gotcha. So, if you were living in the Chicagoland area and love fighting games, go and play some offline Caliber. Offline fighting games. Jeez, that was muscle memory pretty hard. Anyway.
I mean, you can play Soul Calibur if you want to.
Yeah, they have it there too. They even got fighting herds. Them's fighting herds for. I'm guessing that's next Tuesday.
Yeah, these are all the Tuesday ones. We can just run through these real quick.
Mm-hmm.
This one's on PC, by the way. Next time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
I think they're gonna. We're gonna like alternate between PC and PS4 for Strive.
Okay.
Okay. We got a bracket reset. Is what Viking said.
Okay.
So that's cool.
You guys got Battle for the Grid.
Yeah.
Power Rangers. Power Rangers is cool.
Oh no, this already happened. Ignore this slide. This is the schedule.
This is new. Yeah. So, that'll be last Friday was Guilty Gear Grand Blue Street Fighter. This Friday is gonna be, is gonna be Guilty Gear Tekken and Under Night. That's a cool lineup. So if y'all are big players of any of these games, feel free to come down. If you're in the Chicagoland area, it's gonna be a whole lot of fun. All these events are always a whole lot of fun. I've met a good few people that I would like really enjoy playing games with from these events.
I wish I lived in Chicago, and it wasn't 4 hours for me to get to them.
They're going back in, so I'm just gonna like speed run these up. Wednesday versus every Wednesday. Address is right there. Leasley, Illinois, 2K Ogden Avenue. Strive. I think they do other games sometimes. Doors open at 6. Smash GG is usually WVS. Roundhouse is coming up October 23rd, 24th. Yeah, that's all I got.
Alright. Thanks, man.
Cool.
Alright, and now we're back to Grand Finals. There was a bracket reset with the unfortunate disconnect for outside spectators. But, I mean, that just gives us more time to watch these excellent players run their magic.
Ooh, clip him with the overhead again.
And the perfect straight away from Phantom. He wants to take this game. Phantom is absolutely rattled by that bracket reset, so he's gonna take this game if his life depends on it.
Ooh, get thrown out of that. 2 forward dashes is like the whole screen for her.
Exactly.
God.
Every option is covered when she does dash forward far slash. Back in the blender. Grabs, does a back throw. Interesting. Cross up. Oh, I love that. That was incredibly smart.
Yeah, because they did the throw option to actually get him out of the corner just to cross them back up, back into the corner. Like, that was actually really smart. Ooh. Yeah, that's faster now. Yellow RC. Oh,
Yellow RC.
2D. It's always 2D.
I guess Phantom just realized that he was a bit done, so he was just going for some aggressive options. Unfortunately, it didn't play out. But back to this next round. Phantom putting Romantic in the blender this time. Romantic challenging.
Not able to get a good punish, but big counter hit here. No burst. Oh.
Phantom does not have the burst to spend to get out of the blender. Doesn't have any meter either. Oh, but he gets out anyway.
Yeah, it didn't land. So. Oh, big overhead.
Big overhead, big damage.
Didn't do the umbrella to put him through the wall. There it is. Okay, breaks the throw this time. Ooh, big counter hit though, able to finish it off. Romantic takes game 1 of the reset.
Phantom didn't give in though. Phantom was putting up a fight. He's out for blood.
Oh, these matches are getting very close here.
Oh, very, very. I mean, hell, it was a 3-2 bracket reset. So these have we know these have been some huge close games.
Oh, the
Phantom with
overheads
the
are
mix.
still doing it. Oh, the
Instant overhead.
I like it. Using the newer tech. Oh, into the low.
I don't know if that was chipped out or if it was just didn't block the low, but still very nice from Phantom.
I don't know. After getting hit with like 4 overheads, it might just be that you got hit by the low.
Oh, and with the shotgun Fujin. Big damage.
Keep in the corner here. RC cancel, keep going. Clip your toes again. Throw.
Grab. Save.
Wow. Look at that
Insane
pressure.
pressure from Phantom. Absolutely dominant 2-0 that round.
Honestly, like, in the corner, Anji gets to be a little bit of a bully against Geo, because if you actually do some of the mixing up with your projectile, Geo can't really challenge that version, you know? Like, so you have at least one way to kind of, like, perpetually, like, block her in the corner if she gets too scared.
Exactly.
So, like, or if you just challenge, apparently. Cause
yeah, if you just press buttons, she's not gonna be doing a whole lot. Next throw. Dashes in.
Ooh,
Oh,
good
and a great challenge! Gold burst though. She has full meter. She's gonna get that power up with the Shrek install.
She becomes thicker than ever before.
Doesn't want to take the pressure and mashes grab.
Oh, good block on the overhead this time, and block on the
He
burst.
actually
There it
got
is.
burst. That was crazy.
Okay, get him with the throw. Okay, good combos. Keep him in the corner. Here's the bird.
The bird.
Oh, overhead again! Romantic again and again, getting clipped by these overheads. Again, it's that doer speed. I don't think Romantic's like got it down pat on like reaction.
Definitely not. But this is still anyone's game. Romantic does have their burst. Goes for the super. What is the mix? With a sliver of health left, what is the mix?
The mix up.
Cross up and the reset. Absolutely great way to bring out that round. And that brings us down to 2-1. Means one more for Romantic will seal the deal.
The momentum shifts are so strong that it's not like the both the players are bad at defense or anything. It's just Romantic goes on a tear and then Phantom goes on a tear and then Romantic goes on a tear. It's crazy.
We've seen this time and time again with both of these players this entire tournament, is that they just go on these killing sprees with their characters. Oh, and mashes out. Romantic with the meter going for the full conversion. Nice juggles. Oh, tries to counter out of it. Does not work.
Oh, the cross up. Romantic might take this right here, right now.
Yeah, this could be Romantic's game.
Ooh, nice throw to beat out the twirl.
Phantom a little shook from the past games, trying to get those nice long kicks out, trying to get some chip damage.
Bursting at the end of the combo. Okay, blocking the overheads. Blocks the low this time.
Playing
Getting
way
better
more
at defense.
defensively.
Oh, the back dash in the corner! You haven't done that. You haven't done that all game. Romantic pulling out all the stops. Nice break on the throw.
Romantic is pulling
Oh
a
my God.
kick we've never seen before. The Shrek install super. Oh, in the RC!
Do it again. Dust. That's it.
Jeez. That's
amazing.
it. Romantic
Absolutely amazing.
takes the entire tournament with an astounding bracket reset victory. That was crazy. Yeah, that's so good.
That was disgusting. That combo was sick.
That
Got
was so gross.
every ounce of life bar out of that combo.
Oh yeah.
RC canceled again at the end of it, and then just tack on a little bit more just to finish it off there, and then Dust. Like I said, I don't know if it like. It's like one of those things. If you wait a certain amount of time, it like takes off the scaling. I think it has something to do with that. But
Maybe.
yeah, finishing out with Dust to where I thought it was gonna scale at least, and it just didn't. You're dead. So good on Romantic taking the whole tournament.
Oh yeah.
Amazing showing with Geo dealing with the new Anji buffs.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I sneezed, but I shout outs to Phantom as well for getting second and 4 face buttons. Keep coming back. I love the name. I love the play style. Keeps coming back for more. Doing so well at a lot of these tournaments I've been seeing. So, good job. So I guess, no.
I don't
Do you have anything, sir?
No, not really. Next week is Fighting Herds. In 2 weeks is Strive on PC for net play stuff, and then if you are in the Midwest, please stop by Ignite Skokie on Fridays for a good time. Oh, there's a let me pull it up actually. Hold on. There was a special drink menu that they made.
Oh?
Yeah, hold on. Ignite Gaming Lounge. Yeah, they here it is. Give me a second. Excuse the light mode, but check it out.
Excuse the light mode? I don't think I can.
It's like through browser. I can't like do anything about it.
Yeah, a special drink menu.
All
Very
the
nice.
smoke. I'm already in. I love the first one immediately.
Yeah. Yeah. Ignite has a new drink menu and food prices. They have these specifically made like for the meetup. So they're definitely worth checking out if you are able to go.
I love these. All right, I'm going. I'm making the drive.
All the smoke's really cool because they serve in like a smoke glass with everything else.
Amazing.
The fucking the flying thunder gods. Literally, the description's like it's just a Long Island, but with the Red Bull.
Turn up.
And then the low tier handshake's like funny. I don't know how familiar you are with Chicago FGC lore, but
With my lord.
yeah, have you been to like a Combo Breaker or like a Frosty's?
So I went to Faustings, but I didn't get to go to Combo Breaker last time we, back in like what, 2019?
Yeah, 2.5 years ago almost.
Jesus. Yeah, but that's the soonest destination the moment it pops back up.
Yeah, but if you ever at a Chicago event and you know someone from Chicago, they will offer you Malort, and you drink it once and then never again.
Is it bad?
Yeah, it tastes like gasoline. I'm gonna get roasted probably, but it's an acquired taste,
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got.
Alright. You got anything, Necro?
No, sir. It was a pleasure commentating with you.
Yeah, man, it was really great to commentate with you as well, and I hope to do it again in the future.
Yeah, and Follow us both on Twitter. That thing that we all argue on.
Yeah, I actually just made my Twitter today, so if y'all could go boost up my follower count, that would be awesome.
But yeah, I'm all good to go. So see you guys.
Yeah. Have a great one.